We're live. It says that we're live anyway. I don't know. Figured it out again, y'all. Let's see if anybody is out in the world wants to yap for a little while. Hope everybody's doing well. The ones that are going to be watching this on the rerun. Anyway, so got some time. I figured you're like, hey, done a live on this channel or on our new channel, and had time to do it. So I was like, you know what? Made sure everything was good in the house with the kids, and wife's got everything she needs straight. She need anything? She didn't. So gonna do a little live and see how if anybody's out in the world wanting to talk. If they ain't, well, I reckon I'll talk to myself for a little bit, then I'll end it. So anyway, I'm gonna wait for some folks to come in and see if anybody's out there in the world. I said that like 5 times. So we'll see. I'm gonna give it a little bit. If anybody's wants to join in. It is a rainy day today. Oh, I see somebody clicked on it. It's a rainy day today. I think we've had rain for the last 2-3 days. We've needed it though. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Peter, how goes it, sir? Hope y'all are well. Good to see y'all. So I know it's working. Everybody, it sounds like it's working. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these things. Mr. John, how you doing, sir? You're good. I know Mr. Peter's in my neck of the woods, but Mr. John, what's the weather looking like in your neck of the woods? It is raining, and we're about, I think it was 54. The mercury said on the front door said about 54 degrees. So it's a cool, which I don't like it all that much for my garden. I don't mind it myself, but I want it for my garden. I'd like it a little bit warmer, but let's see who else. We got some people popping in. My uncle, our cabin in the woods, Mr. Tony. How you doing, sir? Hope y'all are good. Wonder how's everybody's weather looking like? It's rainy and cool here. I always like to know what everybody's weather and all over the parts of the world is cool. Miss Linda. Yep. I'm here. You're here. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing good. Mr. John says it's bright and sunny there and 67 degrees. That's nice. That'd be nice. We needed rain really bad, but man, we just get a lot of rain and then it's just solid clouds. It's just, especially if we get it we probably had rain now for like 3 days and just cloudy. And the garden, we need it, but I don't like it quite as much when it's 50-ish degrees. Some stuff's fine with it, but really we're getting towards crunch time, y'all. So almost August. August for us is like middle of August, like fall. It's starting to be fall in about middle of August. So you're trying to get it's getting down in time. So I'm trying to get as much as we can get grown. So let's see. Uncle Tony says it's 86 and dry. Well, that's not too bad for your neck of the woods, I don't reckon. Of course, I'm not the one there. Hopefully y'all got some rain though. It ain't super dry, like drought dry. Yes, sir, Mr. Peter. It is a good day for indoor stuff. I got one indoor thing I'm going to try to do today. We'll see if I'll get to it. I did get to, also though, for outdoor stuff, I like to, if you got any, for me anyway, I bought in some red currant bushes, fruit bushes, and I've had them for a while, and they, at least when I get them, I mean, it seems like they've been transplanted not too long ago, so I like to wait at least a month, but a little more than that to let the roots get established in the pot better, not root bound, but just get good solid root base. And then I try to find like rainy days like this where we've had days and days of, well, I'll say days and days, but a few days of rain, so I know the ground's good and saturated. And then so anyway, I just got done doing, I just transplanted right over here in front of the taters, 4 red currants. So I got that done literally right before I did this, and then I've got to move some more bushes. I might do that tomorrow, see how it goes. But I'm trying to get. Anyway, yes, it is definitely still a good day to do indoor stuff. Yawn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. Uh, no, I didn't even think about it. It's just a spur of the moment thing, and I figured if somebody if people are bored out of their mind, they might want to join us over here for a live. But um, sorry, I don't get professional at all. So I mean, you know that. Most everybody knows. It is what it is. Miss Linda says it's been very hot and dry in Pennsylvania. Eesh. Well, hopefully y'all get some rain and a little cooler weather. I'll pray for y'all. I'm telling what y'all prayed about the fires and stuff. When I was saying I did those videos about the fires, and I'm not kidding you, it's probably a day or two. Boom. All of a sudden we get rain, and then we got probably a week and a half of rain, it seemed like, and knocked them down hard. And now there's a little bit of smoke floating around still, like just a little bit, but I mean it's much more manageable than it's been. So that was a blessing. So prayers work. So, but so anyway, but yeah, thank y'all for stopping. Oh, Mr. John says they got a forecast of rain all next week though. Yeah, it's looking like it might be one of them. I know Mr. John knows, he's been here for a long time here in Alaska, but it seems like we're getting this rain trend when it's this kind of late, say July, August. We might have a rainy fall, getting into winter. So moose hunting and caribou hunting's more than likely gonna be wet. Which moose hunting generally is kind of wet. But caribou's hit and miss. Let's see, everybody's saying hi to everybody. Yeah, so I'm thinking normally they're around 100. So I was kind of thinking 86 may not be too bad. Yeah, because I'd take 86 over 100 any day. Oof. Or hundreds. No bueno. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, enjoy. Hope everybody's had a great week. Now we got people in here. I hope everybody's had a great week and a good weekend. I hope y'all done some fun stuff. Do some fun stuff. Hey, old school Alaska, Mr. Ashley, how are you doing, sir? Hope you're doing good. Hope the weather's good. Hey, Mom. Said lots of rain in Alabama. Oh yeah, no, I know. Mr. Ricky Wallace, nice buddy down in Milton, Florida. He's in that same longitude line of where I'm from in Alabama, where my mom is, and they've been getting a lot of rain. Sounds like too. So, I guess some people's getting a whole bunch of rain. Some people ain't. Oh, the orange says our corn's got tassels. All right, that's a good deal. Hope you get a big old crop of corn. I didn't even do any corn this year. I don't. I think for whatever I had spaced out this year, I tried to always write down what everything I grow, what time I planted or started it, planted it, and then how well the yields, and then if anything weird happened, and then like the rain, if we get a lot of rain or we get a lot of dry, I'll make a note of that, and that way I can adjust, accordingly for next year. Um, but anyway, how I plotted this year, I actually drew everything out and where I wanted. It made it a lot easier. That way I could just be like, boom, I'm putting it here. Boom, I'm putting this here. And I just didn't want to even fool with corn this year. I've had pretty good luck with it. 2 years ago, last year not so much. I think the year before we had it okay. And maybe I'll do it next year once the sunflowers grow out of this one spot, this big chunk of the area, the big potato area that we generally use for potatoes. Like I say, right now we're in rotation, minus the little front half of it. Next year, once the sunflowers are out of there, I might plant a little bit of corn right there. Maybe. We'll see, because I know I need to put I'm gonna be putting a bunch of stuff in that big area because I'm gonna be rotating. Then I won't have any potatoes in there for another year after next year. Yeah, next year won't have any potatoes in that big area, and then the following year we'll be back to. I'll put back in there, I think so. But I might do corn next year. All right, so getting a little money in the bank. Man, I tell you what, I don't know how much they sell for there, Uncle Tony, but man, here they're any pig, mutt, any kind of mutt, dog, cat. They are proud of everything. Uh, I want to say like a little yearling pig. I mean, still off of mama, bottle. I You're really doing something if you find one for less than 150, $200. I mean, they're there every now and then. I've seen a deal where $100 or something, but far and few between. They are proud of them. So hopefully they're. I mean, for you, if you're selling them, hope you get top dollar. But anyway, yeah. If y'all want to hit it, hit it. It's free country. If you don't want to, don't. Oh no, Mustache said he had to say the bad 4-letter word. WORK. Oh man, I'm sorry. We'll just try to get through it, right? Well, I don't technically. If you can get off during the week, though, I'd personally rather work on the weekend than have off on the weekday. That way, I can go do stuff, go fishing or hunting, and everybody else is at work, and then it's like nobody's there. So, but I mean, there's still times where it's nice to have off the weekend, though. So, ooh, Yarn Purpose says, "How's the baby? She is good and snuggly." Tilly's, I think she's probably around 7 weeks now. I think she's around 7 weeks old now. She's growing. She's a lot bigger now. She's probably 11 pounds or so. Let's see, when she was born, she was 5'15". So now she's probably up to around 11. I think my wife had said. So she's doing real good. Definitely likes mama a little bit more than me, which is fine. Um, but she's doing really good, and we're enjoying her. The kids are all take turns holding her, and when she gets fussy or something, they walk around with her and stuff, especially the older one. So but she's doing good. I'll bring her out here one of these days in a video when the weather's a little bit nicer, not raining and nippy for her anyway. She wouldn't like the rain. She don't like the rain get on her face. Woo. No. All right. Stump, I sure appreciate it. We'll try some Everglades. He's got some Everglade tomato seeds I'm gonna send up here. We're gonna try them things out, see how we can get them going and everything. That'll be really cool. I'm looking forward to trying those out. That'd be really cool actually, just because I've only seen them. I mean, I'm sure people farther north from where you are in Florida has probably grown them, but I like to see how they would do here. It'll be cool. No, I appreciate it, Mr. John. No, no, there's people that'll smoke me. I mean, there's always somebody in every aspect. It's always top. I don't think there's a top of anything, just about. But I appreciate it though, and that's my favorite crop is the potatoes. By far, that's my favorite thing to grow is potatoes. But they're actually getting. So I hilled them. I think my second hill. I generally do around the first week of July, and or just yes, the second healing. So I healed them up once, the first heal initial, and then I wait about a month, and then I heal them again, and then that's it. And I need to take a picture of it. I look because I for myself, but they're getting so tall. They're probably up to some of them are up to my top of my overhauls right here, but they're getting so tall now that when we get a hard wind, it's blowing them down, and they can't stand back up. So now they're just spreading out. They're starting to fall because they're getting so tall. They're just going and I mean, is this how they do almost every year? But these ones seem a little bit taller than normal, so I don't know. Hopefully, the potatoes are still good. I mean, I hope just main thing the tops are nice, but I can't eat the top. So hopefully, the roots are doing good. So the potatoes themselves. So we got a little ways to go on them. So but they're looking good and flowering really good. So, but yeah, I sure appreciate them, Mr. John. Oh, Tony says 8 weeks old males, $100, females 125. Yeah, they'd be gone in a heartbeat here, flash, super fast. But that's still good money. I mean, for y'all probably. And I hope you sell all you got that you want to sell. That's awesome. If they weren't so much here, I would get some but the only thing I personally like stuff I can renew, So If I was gonna do that, I'm in it for two, and down the road it would pay off, but it's I know it would, but I just I especially with the boat and stuff, I'd really love to be on the water, and family likes to be on the water, and just something's got to give for myself. So I don't know why I'm getting on this subject, going down this rabbit hole, but um, it's the reason why I got rid of the quail. I don't know, I guess people I don't know may not know, but I've been gotten done with the quail. I did probably I don't even know how long ago. Last winter, I think we ate them all, and then I traded the cages off for one of the honeybee hives actually, because the guy that has the bees, he's got some quail, so he was interested. So I was able to swap him a whole hive and everything for that. But that way we have more time for that. Still have rabbits. Ain't getting rid of those, and ain't getting rid of my chickens because I like eggs and I like my rabbits for the garden. At the minimum, I like them for the garden, but I'm still have a few to throw in the freezer. Um, but yeah, I would love to have. I wouldn't mind raising a pig or two here and there. If I could get a good deal on one, I would. But man, yeah, hope you do. Hope you sell them all. Yeah, Mr. John, she's good. I'll bring her. I'll walk around. Maybe I'll just do something where I'm walking around with her on a good day, and then uh, yeah, I'll show y'all. She's doing good. She's getting a lot bigger. She's filling out a lot more. She's getting little chipmunk cheeks and everything. So she's getting a lot more lot filling out better, which is nice. She doesn't feel like you're gonna like, ugh, because when she's 5 pounds, she's like, because when you have them, they're whatever weight, and generally they always lose before they come back. So when we left the hospital, she was like 5.5. She's like 5'6". So she was, yeah, they're just so small. And one of my daughters, by the time we left, was 4'8". So she's not the smallest one, and the other daughter was like 5'3". So we've had some small ones, and then my wife, we've also had some big. Two of my boys have been 9 pounds. So anyway, it's nice when they're a little bit more filled out because it just feels like I'm gonna like hurt them when they're uh, I'm scared. They're like, oh, So anyway, but she's doing good. I'll bring her out for a video, y'all, just to show you. No, Stump said they're high here also. A goat for 100, might pay 20, but I won't get one. Yeah, goat. Yeah, you can about for I think the only goat around that I've really seen you can get around here for $100 is like the Nigerian dwarfs, the little small ones. But anything bigger than that, like the Nubians and some of the other, I'm not a goat person, like a knower. I'm not a knower of anything, but that's one of my things I'm not a forte of. And I think that Nigerians you can generally find for about $100, but then everything else more than that's higher. Bigger goats are worth a little bit more, seems like. But yeah, nah. If I could get a pig for about $100, I would 100% absolutely buy one for my uncle, Uncle Tony right there. I'd totally buy one from him if I could get one. Nah, I'm just I appreciate it. I am. We are meat potato people, but we like our veggies too. Like the cucumbers have been going really good. I need to show y'all some of them. I hadn't showed y'all. We picked a week ago. We picked some nice, sweet, slicing cucumbers. Ones I had outside. They're rocking and rolling. Real good. I've got 4 more I need. I picked 2, and that was a week ago. We got probably 4 that I need to pick. That are ready to go. That are probably 14, 15 inches long. On one variety. I'm hoping this other variety does good because the one variety is doing really good. It's a hybrid, which is okay. But I'm wanting them to cross. I know they're gonna cross, but I'm gonna leave 1 or 2 on either side to seed, just to let it go. That way I have my own seeds because those seeds are expensive. Dadgum cucumber ones, at least the hybrid one, the one that's doing really really good, is called Sweet Success. And I think I paid like the only one I could find is from Haas Tools, which they have good quality stuff. Um, man, like a pack of 10 seeds or something was like $5 or $8 or something. So I was really hoping these things would germinate and go. So they all did. But I ain't buying no more dang cucumber seeds if I can help it. So, but yeah, we love our meat and potatoes and green beans. And I'm trying to get more kids on the carrots. Some of them about 50-50 on the carrots. But Jake is the carrot man. He can eat carrots. Not like they're going out of style. But yeah, we love the potatoes by far are my favorite vegetable. Oh man, that's awesome, Sonny. Had 2 left after 24 hours. Sweet. That is a blessing. Oh yeah, I can mail it. I plan on mailing some. Lord willing, these bees do though. I checked on them last week, and I hope we still got some time, but I know we're actually getting kind of close for harvest for bees here because won't be this kind of cold weather too is not helping the flower situation. You know, they'll get what they get off my little bit of land, but bees need, I mean, insane amount of flour, like millions of flowers to make an actual bed of honey. Like I'm telling you, it's insane. Like if you actually look up how much flowers and nectar it takes to get, even a pint, it's insane. Like not my whole acre and a half is a drop in the bucket, like an absolute drop in the bucket to what they need to actually make anything. It's insane the amount of honey that or nectar it takes for them to turn into honey. But definitely, it can be mailed. I'll bubble wrap the snot out of it. No, I appreciate it, Uncle Tony. Yeah, if I was in your neck of the woods, I mean, I don't want to uh take from your wallet though. We'll barter or something if we could. Yeah, Mr. John, I'll have to when I do it next year. I'll do it again. On my old channel, I had I think it was 2 years ago maybe. I had my better crop of corn that did pretty good. I probably had a 50-50 on that one. I say pretty good, but that was like the first year or second year I ever grown it. I've grown it 3 years. The second year was my best year. Third year, I'm trying to even remember what happened on the third year. I know it wasn't as good, but the second year did a lot better. So I might do that next year. We'll see. Because most of the kids like corn. We all like green beans, so I always grow a lot of green beans. And carrots are 50-50 with the kids, and they always have to eat some. But we're working on it. They get their taste buds for it. And then what else we got? Cabbages, broccoli, stuff like that. But what else? I mean, whatever we got. Most thing I'm excited about, so I see we're kind of at the bottom of the chat, is seed saving. I really like to save my own seeds, and or that I've done it forever. I've done it, I think about 2-3 years now since we bought this property. We've had this place here for I think 3 years ish, 3.5 years, something like that. 3.5 years. Um, uh, so anyway, I like saving seeds just as like a renewable thing. Same like with the chickens and the rabbits. I like them because I can always I don't have to buy them. I can just hatch them out or let them hatch them out, or the rabbits breed and then they just keep having a renewable and having to buy them. So anyway, I like the most everything. We've got it down pretty good, and it's just something for us. Not everybody. I mean, if you don't want to, I totally understand. It's just something for me. We enjoy it. I enjoy it. But I'm hoping I got onions and carrots. Those are the two things that everything else I can save seeds. I have saved, or I know I could. Cabbages is one that I hate, but I'm not really. I just give them away. I will keep like one cabbage. I don't get. They're for fun. But everything else we could save. But onions and carrots are kind of weird because they need 2 years to go to seed. So all my onions I always plant from seed. So it'll take them a full 2 years. So you have to save the bulbs, which we save the bulbs in the garage like we do the potatoes and carrots and stuff. And I had some like midwinter ish, late winter. Started to shoot some green out, and I was thinking about, man, I need to get some. I want to get my own onion seeds. So I stuck some in some pots I pulled out of the greenhouse in here, let them thaw out for like 2 weeks because they were frozen solid, and stuck them in some soil, and shoot, they started growing, and then I transplanted them out when it was ready to plant, and now I got some big, pretty white balls. They're really cool. They look like a wiffle ball, like a baseball size, and tiny little white flowers, and then every little flower will be a onion seed. So I'm trying to get that. Lord willing, they do okay, and they're rocking on like they will. We'll have our own onion seeds for next year, which is gonna be super cool. And then carrot seed, same thing. I had carrots that we put in. You've seen, most of y'all have seen from the other channel that I had, how we saved the carrots and stuff. And this wind's kicking up, but I put my boots there on the door. And carrots, I planted them from last year's carrots, that I had in a sawdust. They all made it. I did do a video on this channel about how long they lasted, but some of them that grew up from the tops, I just stuck them back in a raised bed, and now they're all most of them, probably about 70% of them, started growing again, and you can tell like the leaves look different. It's pretty cool. A 2-year-old carrot's kind of weird grow. I've never grown one from 2 years, and the tops are really cool looking, and you can tell like hopefully it's going to go to flower and seed as well, and then we'll have our own carrot seeds. And I'm really trying to lock down this one variety of carrots because it's a rare variety, and that's the one that did really well for us storing. So I'm super excited about it because they're super hard to come by. I mean, comparative to other seeds, and they store super long. So that's why I'm just focusing on that variety. I want that variety. So Lord willing, we'll have onion seeds and carrot seeds from our own seeds, and then every year we'll just keep doing like with the green beans and tomatoes and obviously potatoes and all, the main core veggies that I want to grow. That's the main thing. And then I got a few for fun. Peppers, peppers I saved too. So, but anyway, it's fun. But anyway, let me get back into the chat. I'm done rambling and stuff. Slinda said, "I love some of your honey. I trust you, Josh. It would be the most perfect." Well, I ain't gonna lie, I might be a little biased, but I'm not kidding y'all, and I'm not knocking all honey is good. I mean, that I've had, unless it's, wait, take it back. Hold up. All local honey you get from local people is good. Store honey is garbage. Um, all of it's good though, local stuff. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all, there's something different about the honey here. I promise you, I ain't trying to be biased. It's just a little bit better in my opinion. It's in my humble and uneducated opinion. But there's something. Is something hitting on, because whatever the bees are collecting is what makes the honey taste the way it does. So we're very unique environment here and what grows here and stuff. So I think that's just the little. It's just different, and it's just a little different. So I don't know. You'd have to try. I'm gonna try to do what I can, and I'm gonna try to send out a bunch of honey to everybody, even if I may, depending on how much you get. Hopefully, we get the full 5 gallons per hive. But right now, it ain't no 5 gallons. They've got maybe halfway, far as in the frames on the past bee videos. They're about halfway filled out. So Lord willing, I need to go back and look from time when I put that honey box, the top box on, till last week, how long it took them to do that. And then Lord willing, a couple more weeks, but we'll have a harvesting video here with the bees and stuff. So that'll be really cool coming. But yes, I do think it's a little bit better maybe than other places. So, but like I say, it's all good. Like, I love all honey. Oh, see, Yarn. Phone's dying out by the fire. Have a great night. You have a great night. Be safe. Have a great day tomorrow. Thank you so much for stopping by, Mom. Yeah, no, you're right, Uncle Tony. And I get so much more joy in giving than money. I much rather, especially stuff that I love to do, like gardening and stuff. I love giving and just making the joy that it brings to other people to have fresh food and stuff. And it also inspires other people to think that, people that don't think they can grow stuff. It's not like a magic, like you have some I like David the Good. It's like probably my favorite gardening YouTube channel out there. He's super good dude. And he's like, there's no like magic, like some people think you're like almost magical that you can grow all this stuff. It's like anybody can do it. But it really can inspire people to grow their own stuff. I'm like, look, because it makes conversation too. Like, I give somebody some potatoes or carrots or whatever, tomatoes or whatever, and they'll ask, like, they automatically, how'd you do it or whatever, and then you can light a little fire under them that they're like, man, I could do it. I'm like, you can totally do it. There's nothing to it. And so no, you're right. I love not even deal with money. Honestly, it's just nice giving because it always comes back. It always comes back, no matter what. You know, don't have that mindset of like, what am I going to get in giving? But it always comes back around. So, old Pecan Homestead, how are y'all? Thank y'all stopping by. I appreciate it. Hope y'all are doing good. I appreciate it, Mr. John. That's why your channel is fun to watch on your own food, hunt, fish, and so on. Well, I appreciate it. Now, that's what we enjoy, and I enjoy is, just living with the seasons as best we can. I'm not perfect, And there's people doing way more and way better than me, and good on them. But um, that's what we like to. I really try to do as best we can is live with the land, and that's why I'm so grateful. Um, I wasn't doing like nowhere near this hard. I would say like after it down south, I was doing gardening and always obviously fishing and stuff. But there towards the end, with that whole spiral, depression, anxiety, and all, I just quit it. So anyway, I don't want to get down that loophole of mess. But but yeah, so I enjoy. Um, that's just yeah, that's what we like to do. Just live with the land and grow what you can grow and get what you can get. Any little bit is better than none. No matter, I don't care what you're doing. Pot a couple pots of stuff. It's fun and it's so much more valuable to me. Anyway. Hey, it's coffee first, then speak. How are you? Yeah, I didn't know how I was gonna react. It's the first time I've done it on this channel. Well, it's my only channel. Um, so I hope it is the audio and everything okay. I guess nobody said anything. Generally, everybody you'll let you know if the audio ain't no good or something. Hopefully, it's okay. I know. I know. Uh, yeah, maybe the quality's okay. I don't have the premium plan on StreamYard or nothing like that. I used to once upon a time, but I'm not doing it enough to justify paying the money for the primo. So it's only like 720. So I know on my end it looks clear, but I know at least when I watch reruns, it's kind of neat. But hope you're doing good. Yeah, old Pecan Homestead found it very interesting. Bees don't make it through the winter there. Yeah, they don't. Um, that's a lot of people have a hard time with because there's a lot of people that are bee savers and like love the bees. And I love the bees. Don't get me wrong. But if like in Alabama, bees could, when they split and they go to go make a hive, they can go off into a tree and they'll rock on and live. If they tried that here, they will die. 1000%. There's no coming back. They will die. The winter will kill them. And that's just what it is. They cannot survive in in the wild at all. The winter will smoke them. At least in the interior, and I would even say like I know down south, like maybe like Juneau, like way down there, they might be able to. I don't know. But in our area, they cannot survive on their own. Absolutely. They have the only way they can make it through winter is human involvement. Um, even like our college here, University of Fairbanks, um, they have a lot of really cool like learning classes kind of thing. Like they're like I say classes, but it's free like document electronic e-document stuff on how to can and how to grow gardens and how to process food, meat, all this stuff. Like really awesome stuff that a lot of us do through the college for free. It's just online. You can pull out the deal and tell you, this is how you do it. And it works best for our climate. Yada yada yada. And they have a bee one. And even on the bees there on the college, they say they're gonna die. There's just unless you really gotta I say unless really dedicate time and energy and money into trying to overwinter them. And generally that means like bringing them inside some kind of shelter or something. Seems like, but even on that college website, they tell you pretty much how to get rid of your bees because they're gonna die a slow and painful death if you don't just go ahead and nip it in the bud. They'll all just slowly start to die off, die off, die off. And because the biggest thing that people don't understand, it's really actually not the winter that kills them. It's the longevity of our winter, and they can't poop. So, like the guy I get the bees from, he's been doing it for over 20 years. He has like 30 to 60 hives, depending on the summer, that he does himself, and he knows his stuff. And he told me he's like, if anybody has any qualms about it, just tell them, can you hold your poop for 6 months? you know, they have to hold their poop for 6 months. They have to fly to poop, and they cannot fly when it's, I mean, honestly, like 40 degrees or so. They just don't fly. And then obviously when the dead of our winter, it's always negative, and they're not flying. They're stuck in there, so they're having to hold it. And what happens is a lot of times they'll start, what do you call it, dysentery, and they'll just crap everything out in the hive. and die. And when they start doing that, then more of them start dying, and then they all will just eventually start to die, and then they'll all be dead. And then not only on top of that, that the bees are dead, now your hive is contaminated with that dysentery disease that's in it, and it's some other kind of, maybe not dysentery, but it's some kind of disease, and um, that to him, in his opinion, it's no longer good. So now I have to throw away, uh, $70 to $100 box of, box with the frames in it. I have to just disregard. I have to get rid of it. Bees are super sensitive to anything you put in that box, any kind of chemically, any kind of soapy, any kind of off thing. They will not accept it, and they'll go in and they'll just be gone. So like if we buy our bees, in the springtime, and you put them in there, they don't like it, they'll just leave, and then they're gonna go try to live off in a tree or something they find, and they'll just die in the winter. So anyway, so there's a fine balance there. You're kind of playing with fire. I am gonna try to overwinter them, just because I think I might be able to do it. I got a couple ideas up in this whole noggin. It's got a lot of air in there, but there's a little bit of something in there, and I think I might be able to overwinter them. I've heard a couple people what they do, and then I'm gonna try to do it my own kind of way. But I'm gonna put them in this greenhouse once everything's done. I'm going to put them in here, insulate them really well, and then my plan is to put some space heaters. And I'm not talking all winter. One time, two times, I'm gonna turn them things on. Early winter, I'm gonna try to get a day where it's not crazy cold, and I'm gonna crank them space heaters up in here for about a day, and just to where the temperature will get up where they'll fly. Let them go, and they'll buzz around in here. That way they can, because they're gonna, even being in here, they'll probably be basically locked down for about 2 months. So they're gonna be wanting to go to the bathroom. So they'll fly around in here, let them all fly and poop, and then I'm gonna unplug the heaters, and then they'll all just like, oh, getting cold, and they'll all go back in their box. Then I'll insulate it all back up, and then okay, I'll rock. So then through the hard part of the winter, they might be in there for about 4 months. Generally speaking, from my understanding, most bees can go about 5 months, and that's pushing it. So I can go about 4-ish months. My goal is somewhere around March-ish. Maybe I have to go to April. Do it again. So pick another warm day, open it up, let them all cleanse themselves out, and then button them up the rest of the way. And then when I put them back out again, like beginning, middle-ish, into April, beginning of May or so, depending on how our spring is. And then Lord willing, they'll live and they won't be sickly, because that's another thing that they can happen too. Even if they do overwinter, you run the chance of people think that, like this, according to the guy that's been doing it. This is not my opinion. This is somebody that's been doing it for over 2 decades. That they may be really sickly too. So like people think they got these jack super winter bees that are Alaska hardy, and they're they're still California bees. Like, all of our bees, like 90% of them, to him, maybe I think even 100%, come from California, from the almond uh, plantation, whatever. I don't even call them plantation, when these massive almond farms. I'm talking thousands and thousands of acres of almonds, and the beekeepers down there, they have so many bees that are pollinating. They bring beekeepers, have mobile hives to pollinate all these almond trees. All the almonds we eat, whatever you get that are coming from California, these massive operations, multi-million, maybe billion-dollar bee honey and operations. And all the bees, once they fill up a hive, they'll make a new queen, and some of the bees will go with her to make a new one. So they're getting those and selling them to all over the place in the country, and then we get our bees from that. So they're just like a surplus. They're actually not as endangered as the news. You can take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. But they're not quite as endangered as they make them out to be. And even for Alaska, like the amount of beekeepers here is like a speck on a fly's hiney, is how much they actually influence pollination here. There's enough pollinators here that's been going for thousands since the beginning. We don't need honeybees, but we wouldn't get none of them collect honey to get through the winter. None of the natural pollinators here. So anyway, I've went down a long rabbit hole about a bee question, but anyway, I'm gonna try to overwinter them. Hopefully that works out, because if I could, and as long as they're not sickly and they'll make it, I would be able to save quite a bit of money. And I'm really planning on next year. I'm gonna double down and probably do 4 hives next year. So right now I got 2 hives. Next year I'll probably do 4, and we'll see how I like 4. Maybe keep going. They're really nice, man. Bees, they're not for me anyway, you can mess with them all you want or you don't. I'm kind of just let them go, check on them every now and then, and let them do their things. So I like them. I really like bees. I'm really impressed with bees. This is not a hard thing. The only thing I will have to do next year is I'll have to um, kind of like sterilize them. I guess what I don't know a better word for mites, because there's these mites that come from I think China or something, and they if you they live like on the bees, like in between their like thorax and their body or something like right in there. So I'll have to do that. Generally, you wouldn't have to if you just let them die off. There's no bees. The bees die, they die. So I will have to do that, but it's fine. But that would save me if I could save them. Not only I'd like to save them if I can, just for the bees' sake, but also save me about $500 for 2 hives worth of bees that come in those things. Y'all see the very first video I did on this channel is when I got them. It's almost $500. So it's like 490, I think how much it was, or something like that. Yeah, $490 for 2 hives worth of bees. That's just the bees. That's not the hive. That ain't nothing. So yeah, it'd be nice to be able to save them, but we'll see. So, but I'll be doing a video on it. All right, let me get down here. I've been going. Yeah, that's right. No money. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's what that would be awesome to be able to help somebody out homesteading too. I'd love to do that too. Um, yeah, that's awesome. That's such a fun thing to do. Yeah, yeah, there's the man, the knife, the legendary Mr. Ricky Wallace. There's the knife, man, y'all. That's my fillet knife. You see my last video? That is the man. Mr. Ricky, hope you're doing good. Hope Mama's doing good too. Hope she's feeling better. Yeah, Mr. Spear says some of our garden stuff is doing well, while other stuff isn't so much. It's just a matter of working through. Oh yeah, that all is. And I'm very highly suspicious if anybody on any platform is like, "Oh, my garden's perfect and nothing's wrong." That's one of them bless your hearts or ain't you precious. That's more of an ain't you precious kind of thing. Because I have a hard. Generally, most people are honest. They're gonna have problems with some stuff. Like my carrots. My carrots are. I might not have much of a crop this year for as actual eating carrots. Because Tilly was born. She was born when she was supposed to have been born. They would have been okay with the timing of the carrots, but I don't care. I mean, obviously my baby's a lot more important than carrots. But I wasn't able to tend to them like I should, and I ended up cooking all my seeds or most of my seeds, so I had to reseed those. My green beans were a little weak coming up, as I'm trying out 2 new varieties because I crossed my old varieties and I didn't like how they turned out crossed. So I'm trying 2 other ones, and we'll see how they turn out crossed if I like them better. Um, so anyway, but yeah, ain't none of my stuff perfect. I mean, there's all the little things that that, but yeah, you work through it, and for me anyway, and come out way smarter, and or somewhat smarter in my case, maybe a little bit smarter on how to fix it the next time. I think it's fun to figure out why is it doing this, and then once you figure it out, man, it's awesome. It's such a good feeling. So like a plan come together, like the A team says. So, oh yeah, coffee first. So you change your hat. Yeah, like the oranges. So I want to wear my own hat, y'all. This is just a you can buy these hats, like the hats themselves on eBay for like $8. They're Richardson, the Richardson 112s. You can see. I really like these hats. They fit pretty good on my, especially I got a big old head. And then I got these patches. These are like iron-on patches for a few bucks. And then I just iron them on. That way I got my own hat, wear my own brand stuff. And I was able to do it myself, which is, I mean, I didn't make the hat or the patch, but I stuck them on. That counts, right, for something. But yeah, and my wife says she likes it because if I'm walking around, she can spot me out and find me easier. Okay, caught 5x5. All right, good deal. I'm 5x5. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. I know Old Pecan Homestead lives 30 miles from you. That's cool. Little small world. That was awesome. Yeah. Even Oklahoma, I've seen hives try stupid stuff like hanging off a pecan limb and then they just die. Yeah, bees are. I mean, people like don't get me wrong, they're fascinating. Like every morning I'll go down there, almost every morning I'll just go down there where I have them and just watch them working there, working and going in and out and stuff. But some of the stuff I'm like, y'all, of course I'm not the brightest or sharpest tool in the shed or brightest bulb in the whatever, but people talk them up. And like I've seen some, if you ever watch a slow mo of bees flying in and out of hive, they are terrible flyers. Like it's really comical watching. There's a couple videos on YouTube if you watch, like somebody put that music that like the singing lady and they're like going slow and they're like, yeah, like you're hitting each other, hitting the wall, pow, flying up. They're really funny to watch. When if you can watch them slow, they're terrible flyers. I mean, they can do it. I can't fly, but it's real funny watching them fly. But yeah, they're interesting. So I'm hoping mine are doing good. I have a assistant pastor at our church. He's really got me inspired to do bees and learning from him, and also and he's got to check his bees, see how his are. I'm really curious to see how his are doing to compare to mine. That way I know if mine are doing about the same or whatever. I don't know what I can do to fix it, but hopefully, I'm hoping we get the amount of honey that everybody says we get around here. We'll see. Yeah, I kind of figured that they may would have found a good hidey hole and make it. Yeah, you would think. Yeah, I mean, I know like in Alabama, they always they love to find old cat face on a like a oak tree or something, like a hole in an oak tree. Well, right, call them cat faces, just where a tree had like a limb and it broke off and rotted, so it kind of makes a hole. That's where I seen a lot of them down there. They would find those old cat faces and live up in there. We had one in my yard actually, where we moved from, that they got up in one of those. But man, that's crazy. Yeah, you would think they would have found something. Well, I got some from a cooler one time. A buddy of mine down there called me to see if I wanted to try them. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I mean, less of a clue than I do now, but still, I didn't have no clue on how to anything about a bee. They were in a cooler that he had in his yard, just laying sideways. So like the door was open on the cooler, like a 50-quart cooler, and some bees just moved in on there and made a full-on hive and everything in there. Whereas I was going to try to keep them and raise it, and they all just left. We did all this stuff, got them back to my house, and them suckers left, took all the honey and everything. I was like, man, you sorry suckers. So it's what I get for not knowing. Let's see. Oh yeah, Miss Linda. So yeah, you must have missed the. That's one thing I'm gonna do. The greenhouse still does not, on its own, will not get nowhere near warm enough for them. But I'm hoping to supplement for one day, either side of winter. I'm only gonna run them for a day or two, some space heaters to crank the temp up in here to let them fly and poop, and then I'm gonna pull them off because I cannot afford. Our light bills here are insane high, the power bill, and it would cost me an arm and two legs and some organs probably to pay for it. But they don't need they can do they just need to be able to go to the bathroom a couple times during the winter and they'll be okay. Even once should be okay, but twice would be better. I'm gonna shoot for two times. But anyway, yes, I'm planning on doing. There's more to it, but as my goal is to put them in here once everything's out. We will go in here. Yeah, it stinks. I guess you're talking coffee first, talking about the bees. It is, but it just there's just no other way around it. They cannot survive here, um, at all on their own. They die. So it's unfortunate. So like I say I feel bad for them. Also, I'm trying to do my best, and I'm willing to lose $150 or $200 worth in boxes, but hopefully they'll live. All right, Mr. John, you have a good one. Oh, you probably already gone now. Thanks so much for stopping by. I don't know how far back I am on this thing. Crispy, yeah, insulation in the greenhouse. Yeah, but even then, it's not going to be insulated enough. If you're talking about for bees, there's no amount of insulation that you on its own can maintain a temperature. Like it has to have some kind of supplementary heat. If I insulated it, then I got to have some kind of heat source inside for it to be warmer. But it's just not. They don't need a full time winter that's good enough for them to fly all the time. They're totally good with like going in and hibernating. That's what they do in the like a lot of the northern states in the 48 that they hibernate in a tree or something. they can hibernate for 4 months or whatever, and they'll pop back out and they're rocking and rolling are good, and not fly at all. That's why they make honey and all. That's their winter food is their honey, and then they just take a little bit, take a little bit, take a little bit over the whole course of winter, to live, and then they come out fine. So, um, yeah, I mean, if I could, it wouldn't hurt. Like, it wouldn't be too difficult to double layer this thing, but I honestly like for the bees, I not necessarily want to do it for the bees, and even for the gardening stuff. Greenhouses are a pain. Like I don't enjoy growing out of a greenhouse. Honestly, that's why I only have what I have in here, and I'm so glad I didn't build it any bigger. I'm a outside of greenhouse growing kind of guy because it's you got everything in here is so much more nitpicky and got to watch it even more so than I do anything out there. So I have a love hate relationship with the greenhouse. The only thing I need to grow it for is these tomatoes, some herbs. You can't really see they're back behind. Maybe you can only see a pot right there. Actually, I can move this thing. Hopefully, it'll just sit back. See that herbs up there, and they go all the way down towards the other wall. Just the tomatoes are blocking it. Um, and then I got bell peppers down here and stuff. Um, and whatever. But those things need it, like these indeterminate. These are like your big slicing tomatoes. These really need the heat from the greenhouse. But I can grow tomatoes outside of the greenhouse that don't need that, and I like them a lot better. So, let's see. Yeah, I will. I don't doubt nothing. I don't doubt it. Big Bear Crispy, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you. I ran into this guy. He was up in my neck of the woods. I don't know if you're still up in the neck of the woods. Uh, but yeah, Jack's Alaskan bees. It actually takes a while to like um have a breed stock that's like hardy for here. Like I'm talking years and years and years and some more years to really get them dialed. You know, you can get better. Bees is wild. Like they're like dogs and cats. Like there's actually breeds of bees. Like not going into it, not knowing anything. I thought a bee's a bee. A honeybee is a honeybee. Oh no, there's all kinds of different breeds. Just like a dog, there's all kind of breeds of dogs and cats, and they all have a little bit of different quirks with them. So the ones we have are the friendliest bees. Like that's their whole thing. They're called Cariolas or Cardiolas, something. I'm probably butchering it, but uh, anyway, because of the kids and stuff. We're fishing all around them and stuff, and in the lake behind the house, we're fishing all around them and walking around them. I mean, my little boy run right past them and stuff. Dog runs around them. They won't mess with you. Now you get like and then they're good all around bees, to my understanding. But like they get like a Russian variety. They're a better foraging bee, which would be good for us because we got a limited time to get while the getting's good, same as the bees do. But they are mean as the devil. So according to whatever the people that I know that know, they will sting you for the fun of it. And I'm talking like way away from them. They're like, let's go ahead and pop them just in case. So I don't want them unless I had some place to put some hives like away from my property or something. Um, maybe do that, but anyway, it's real touchy feely. If it's crazy. Some of them make more wax than others. It's pretty wild. Mom's fine fussing at me. Okay, well I know she's fine if she's fussing at you. Then that's good. Up late, very late. Yes, you are. It's what is it, man? It's what Central Time. It's 8:18 there for all y'all in Central Time, and then Eastern Time it's 9. All right, we'll behave. My card is perfect. Of course, it only consists of one tomato plant, but I'm getting these little baby tomatoes so far way better than the potatoes. Hey, that's a win. That's a win. Hey, look at there. Old school Alaska. Might have been my best garden this year. Planted several varieties of weeds, and they all came up, and I didn't have to water or fertilize. Man, ain't that a blessing? There's a few weeds, like watching David the Good, y'all. If y'all want a really good day, down to earth, minimalist style gardening, which is what I really like, David the Good channel. I really recommend that guy. And he really opened my eyes up to like weeds are. I mean, now I don't look at weeds as a hindrance. I mean, they are annoying, but they're a lot less annoying because now I look at them as fertilizer. They're just organic fertilizer. You chop and drop, or you pull and drop. And now I look at them as, hey, that's just more organic fertilizer for whatever I'm growing. So like when I take my wheel hoe down the rows, big rows, or even in my raised beds, when I pull the weeds or chop them off, I just leave them there. Obviously, you want to do it before they go to seed, because if they're going to go to seed, then yes, you're going to spread them. But if you chop them and they haven't gone to seed, they're not going to like magically grow more weeds from a plant that didn't have any seeds on it. They have to be seeding to grow more weeds. So I just, if you just stay on top of it, and it's not, at least for us, about every few weeks, they seem to want to go to seed or so. So about once every 3 weeks or so, just make a good weed run, buck them all down, and I'm just adding whatever they're pulling out of the ground. You cut, you're putting it back into your soil, back into the soil. Now you're making your soil more organic and work for you better. So hold more water and be more, a little more mineral rich and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, weeds are pretty. That's why I like we got a whole bunch of wild red raspberries and wild blueberries. As far as wild stuff, we got a bunch of domestic stuff too. But got blueberries right here, blueberries over yonder, and then wild raspberry. And it's so nice. I love them, and I don't have to do nothing to it. Nothing. It's so nice. Especially the local stuff. The domestic stuff's pretty tough too, but the stuff I say domestic from stores and stuff. But the wild stuff is so awesome. You ain't gotta do nothing to them. They just rock and roll. Let's see. I don't know how it goes with them getting sick in the boxes, but for like mites and things like that, I know people use propane torches and just kind of torch the box stuff. I have to try that, or I'm gonna look into it. That's a good. I've never heard of it. I'll try. I mean, not that because I don't know everything. Um, I'll definitely look into that though. I appreciate it. Yeah, because I'd rather use that in some kind of treatment stuff. Definitely. Hey, it's Gillum Farms, Mr. Johnny. How you doing, sir? Oh, look, and this is better half, Miss Christine. Mom, how are you? Glad y'all stopped by. That's awesome. Oh yeah. I don't know how to. That's the thing I just thought about. First time I've done a live, y'all. You're right. Now I'll see. How can I do that? I don't know how I can do that. Uh, well, I'll have to figure that out unless I can do it on this phone on the fly. I don't know if I can. Uh, yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I'm just trying it out. Maybe I can. No, I don't know. No, you're right. Keep an eye out for any troublemakers. Don't have too many, but I have had a few troublemakers on here that needed their bless their heart. Let's see. Mr. Uncle Tony said, "How many pounds of potatoes do you go through a year?" We go through probably like what we go through, and then what we try to have, or I have to have for seed. I like to have around 350 pounds. Um, is okay. Every year we figure out more ways to eat them, because that kind of gets into the thing of like, you eat something the same way over and over and over, it gets kind of old, at least for us. So, but we generally do about 350, I guess 350 to 400 pounds. We can get by fine with that all winter long. And then right now is the only time we don't have any right now because they just won't. I can't get them to store, you know, that long. They'll store for about 7 months, 8 months, about 8 months. They're still edible. You're kind of starting to have to pick through them though. They're definitely a little softer, still edible, just not as firm. They're a little soft though. You kind of got to pick through them a little bit more. About 8 months, but then we got about I don't know, 4 or 5 months. So, well, yeah. Well, how many months is in a year, right? I can make it something. 8 months. What is that? 12, 4 months. So 4 months ish. We don't have any, or we'll, we break down and buy a couple bags, and they're Alaska grown stuff, potatoes though, which is cool. Um, but yeah, I just say about 400 because I like to have at least 50 pounds of seed potatoes, but I'd rather have more seed potatoes than that. So a minimum 400 pounds. Um, and yeah, so about 400 pounds. So, but I'm glad y'all came and stopped by. That's awesome. We're getting on about an hour. Yeah, no, and you're 100% right. Absolutely, Mr. Ashley. Absolutely. Yeah, I learned something this year about one kind of weed that I was just annoying weed. Kind of find out it's great for swelling and bee stings and stuff like that. I'm like, crap, I got this stuff everywhere. I didn't realize that was so they're really medicinal. I've just found that weed book. I got a book of weeds for our area, and I've gone through it a bunch of times, but I need to go back through it again to refresh myself. But it's awesome. Like dandelions, I love dandelions. Dandelions are the goat. When you talk about a flower and like medicinal stuff and like for the bees and everything, they're the homeboys, tough. And so I got like, cause that's this year. I'm not a huge flower person. Like we got some flowers for the kids and stuff, and I have them to attract pollinators. Like here in the greenhouse and stuff, I got a bunch of little flowers, all here and here, trying to draw some in that will help me come in and draw pollinators into the greenhouse. Um, I set them on the outside or right on the inside of the wall, so hopefully stuff sees them and they'll fly in to help me out. But I plant. I kind of find out anyway. You go to look and they make there's let's say they have pink dandelions and white dandelions that I know of. There might probably more, but I've only found so far. I've seen pink and yellow. I'm sure they got probably more. But I started seed last year, and I've already had a whole bunch of them take off. So I like dandelions because they're tough. I don't have to fiddle with them too much. Like pick your poison kind of thing, man. You can rock dandelions. Don't care. They grow in rocks. They grow in concrete. I like them. They're tough. And for some color and everything, I like those. And not that I'm planting them in my beds, but I'm planting them in their own little bed or pots and stuff around just to have some color and stuff. But I'm wanting them to actually cross with the wild ones. I'm hoping that they'll cross, and then we'll get these pink and white dandelions throughout the yard, and then they might take off, and hopefully Fish and Game or whoever finds out don't get mad at me if they cross, because I could see them like they weren't here everywhere, but they're really pretty. White dandelions, especially. Pinks are really cool too. I like the white ones; they're so pretty. Hey, it's Old Tavern Farm. Hi, Miss Lee Sharon. I sure appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Mr. Johnny, I click on the three dots, and all it says is star comment, delete comment, put user in timeout, or ban user and delete their comment. That's the only options I got. I don't know. I'll definitely, if I can go back through the chat, and I'll definitely hook y'all. Definitely be a moderator for sure. But yeah, that's all I got is those things, those four things on this. At least on my phone, because this is my phone too. So I don't know if it's different on a something tablet or something. Hey, it's my brother from another mother, Pneumatic Witchin, Gary, and his family are actually down here. I say down here because they're actually farther north than we are by like 2 hours on a plane. He's way up there, and they're actually down. So we're actually hopefully here we'll see them here for in a day or two. They got a lot of stuff they got to do, but I'm so glad to see you here, brother. And hope y'all are good and everything. Everybody's safe. I'm glad y'all stopped by. Mr. Joe Fix It for you. How are you doing, sir? Thanks for stopping by. I sure appreciate it. Hope y'all are well in Georgia, I think, right? Hope the weather's good. Yeah, see it now. See, y'all said it on dots, three dots next to the name, add them on. But I'm clicking on it. It just says star comment, delete comment, put user in timeout, or ban user and delete their comments. So unless there's a different, I don't know. This is the basic StreamYard too, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but I don't know. Let's see. Chris P, do you miss Bama? Ooh, now you're gonna get me down a rabbit hole. I'm talking about a rabbit hole. So in the grand scheme of things, no. There's things I miss about Bama that I can't take from Bama and bring up here as much as I would love to. But as a whole, no, I would still rather live here than Bama, and just pros to cons. I can tell you, if I'm the only Alaska channel, I don't know, because I mean on my other channel that I had, you don't get me fired up. I remember just because I was a little bit more in that crowd, I guess, and there's a lot of like, it seems like backdoor that Alaska is the latest, greatest, bestest place, and everything is perfect here, and all your problems will be solved if you just would live in Alaska. No, that's a bunch of bull. Alaska's got a whole bunch of pros and cons, a whole bunch of pros and cons. And there's things about Bama or in the 48 that are immensely better than here. But it's anywhere you go. You know, like Alaska, like I was saying, it's lots of pros and cons here. Like you see, I'm trying to be as honest as I can be. But it's like my dad has always said, there's pros and cons. You got to take the good with the bad. So like I say, we take the good with the bad. Like to me, fishing is terrible here. You see, if y'all seen my salmon video that I did a couple 2 videos ago when we went out and I showed like the area and we were dip netting, that's great. But that's one day. That's one time for the whole year that you can do that. If you fill your quota, that's all you get. And granted, yeah, you fill the freezer. But I like to fish. Like I want to fish and fish and fish. That's what me and my family have done forever is fish and fish. We didn't put fish up because we caught wild fish in the river 365. So it's a blessing to be able to put them up, don't get me wrong, and have them in the freezer. But I would rather catch them every weekend and eat them fresh every weekend, or during the week, whatever. So yeah, I could say a whole bunch of other stuff, that I think honestly, like being successful in hunting is easier, way easier and more successful down south than here. Like views, like a lot of channels, like, oh, the views are so nice. And they are nice, but at the end of the day, I can't eat the views. The views are gonna be there where I'm breathing or not. And much as they're cool and pretty to look at, I can't eat them. Well, so I would say the views are better, yeah, than Alabama, but Alabama, I guarantee you, I'm gonna kill me some deer, I'm gonna kill me some hogs, and I can do it for 4 months. Whereas here, you got about a month and a half to get all you gonna get, and that's it for hunting. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a little week here, a week here, something you can do, but for the average guy 9 to 5 that can only hunt on a weekend or something, you've got an insanely tiny window to make something happen. And your whatever success rate is extremely low. I would say comparative to down, at least in my area that I'm familiar with in Alabama. Okay. But it's pros and cons. Like I'm saying, I mean, when you are successful here, it feel like $1,000,000. Because the amount of time, effort, and miserableness you put into it makes it feel like, whereas down there, I'm like, yeah, we got something. I'm happy, but it's not, yeah, whatever. I'm happy though, but it's not like, sing it from the rooftop kind of thing. So anyway, I don't want to try to ramble too long about it, but it's pros to cons, in my opinion. It's humble and uneducated. So I'm trying to be as honest as I can be. There's pros to cons anywhere you live. I don't care where it is. So yeah. So, but yeah, there's some things I do miss. At the end of the day, yes, there are some things I do, some things I don't. So 100%. Hey, it's my brother's wife, EG wife. How are you doing, Shay? Hope you're doing good. I'm gonna have to get. We're past an hour, so I got what 50% left on my phone. Let's see. Miss Lee Sharon says gardening wise, green beans, Nebraskas are tanking, but shell beans, cucumbers, and tomatoes are amazing. What are your winning plants this year? Potatoes, I feel like are doing good. They're hard to say, hard to say. I can't see under the ground, but the greens look really good. And cucumbers are doing pretty well. I'm surprised for first real year of really trying cucumbers. I mean, I did them last year in here, but outside they're doing awesome. And I'm trying to think onions, but everything else has been a struggle. It seems like to some extent. So I guess potatoes, onions, and cucumbers for some reason. Cucumbers, I guess some of the tomatoes are doing good. I haven't had no issues with tomatoes. So tomatoes, but green beans have been a booger. Carrots have been a booger this year. Trying to think. Broccoli, we'll see. They like to bolt. I haven't done it yet. I'm not superstitious. I don't know why I do that. But yeah. So that's what's working for me so far, I guess. I feel like it's working. The sunflowers look like they're doing good too, but I'm not a sunflower person. I've never grown them really before ever. But they're starting to get big flower heads on them. So we'll see. I feel good that we hopefully will, Lord willing, have sunflowers. So that'd be cool. Yeah, gardening. Woo-hoo. We need a gardening video. I'm going to tell you again. Mom, we need a gardening video. I know you had deer. I think it was it deer got into them, got into your garden though. So, somebody did mention. I know you wrote it down. I was going to actually. It's easier to tell you. Um, about that bone sauce stuff. It's called Billy's Bone Sauce. I don't really follow his channel at all. It's called his channel is called Perma Pasture Farms. That's the guy that sells that stuff. And from everything I've ever heard, it works amazing. It ain't cheap, but I have heard that it works amazing. The bone sauce, it's Billy's Bone Sauce or something like that. Like I said, I don't use, I've never used it, but from other channels that I've heard talk about it, and people in comment sections, particularly that, because YouTube is kind of funny. You know, if it's scratching your back, kind of thing. You know, you like to take the benefit of the doubt. I love to take the benefit of the doubt of anybody on here, but people are people. So, but I think the Billy's Bone Sauce. I remember somebody mentioning that to you, and I think that works. From everything I've seen, everybody says it does. So, I would definitely recommend that. Everybody saying hello to everybody. Thank y'all so much for stopping in, though. Everybody, it's crazy. I sure appreciate it. This is just like a every now and so often kind of thing. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I don't. I can't. Let's say I'm not. I just can't. You know, routinely keep up trying to routinely do one of these things. But they're fun. I love hearing from y'all and talking to y'all and stuff. It's so cool. Wish it was a Zoom thing, so you know, where I could see everybody. That'd be cool. Also, everybody's hey, hey, hey. Yeah, right. Yeah, man. Potatoes are like to me the goat. They are the greatest of all time, 100%. Like to me, and yeah, and the harshest of places, like even down south, like potatoes do okay down south. Like in our area down south, they do pretty good. There's a lot of stinking bugs that like to eat the greens off of them. No, they do pretty good. But sweet potatoes down there are like weeds, man. If you get sweet potatoes going, they were so stinking cheap down there. We buy people would buy them for. I said I didn't, but people that had private land that could feed deer and hogs and stuff. People buy them by the truckload, sweet potatoes for like pennies on the dollar because they grow insane down there. And there's no way in the world I grow a sweet potato here. It ain't hot long enough to grow one. But it's super harsh even down there. You know, like people like the winter here is harsh, but it's vice versa. You know, in South Alabama or anywhere down there, like Oklahoma and Georgia, you know, where y'all are at down there, Kansas, it's wicked hot. It's just vice versa. You know, y'all get extreme heat, we get extreme cold, and so stuff's got to be tough for that hot heat too. You know, just the stuff's got to be tough for cold, and yeah, but it's potatoes are just thank God for potato, you know, and to me they're the best vegetable of all. It's like one of the only vegetables that you can get full on. So that's why I focus a lot of effort towards potatoes. It's because that's one of the very few that you can get full. Like I've never seen anybody get full on lettuce. Like, and be honest, you know, like try to get. We're not rabbits. Like trying to get full on some kind of lettuce. Good luck. You know, we just don't have the digestive tract for that to get full on grass. Whereas potato is a carb calorie king, and you can get full like butter and that sucker. You're good. That's all you need. But yeah, dandelions are amazing. And if I'm telling you, if you're interested, I don't, maybe if I could catch some, maybe I'll save some. I can send to some people if y'all want. That I know are the colored ones, but I order them. I think from Johnny Seeds, but they have pink and white dandelions, and they're so like I said, they're dandelions. You don't have to do anything. Just put them in some dirt and water them, and they'll go. That's why I love those dandelions. Are like the most foolproof flower because they'll grow in concrete. They'll grow it anywhere, man. So that's why I love dandelions. Are awesome. I think they're gorgeous, and these pink and white ones, they're bigger, a little bit bigger, like a lot bit bigger heads, and they grow like really stinking tall. Like I can't like this when the flower goes up. A lot of times they're huge. The pink ones we had like 2 foot, probably long, and then the flower on the end, and then you had a whole bunch of them. They're all about 2 foot long, and they're all just pretty pink, with a yellow whatever the inside part is. So they're insane tough, and you can eat the whole thing. So that's why I don't kill them. That's the like um right here, old school Alaska. Mr. Ashley was saying is they're medicinal, and you can eat the entire thing. So, and that's actually my wife doesn't like greens. That's the one green that she can eat is dandelion greens. She doesn't care for kale or like spinach or anything like that, but she can eat dandelion greens, and I don't have to do anything to them things. Them things will just go. So that's a blessing. Oh yeah, let me. I know where it is. It's on my gun safe. I'll have to remind me if I don't get back to you. But yes, they're kind of proud of it, but it's totally worth it. I don't care. I think it's worth it. Worth it. Hey, I appreciate it. If you want to, if you don't, whatever. I appreciate it. But I am gonna have to get off here. I'm gonna try to hit everybody up, get towards the bottom of the comments. I know my wife, she was cooking, so um. Oh, okay. So if this is about the mod thing, if someone leaves a comment after the live, you can do it from there. If you are in StreamYard, you can't do it until you get out of it. So I am in StreamYard, so maybe that's my problem. But I will definitely. Thank you for that. An hour away? What? Come on. Yes, Miss Linda said dandelion is good food. The greens, when they first out in spring, make good salads. The roots, when dehydrated and ground up, is good for coffee. And there's lots of yes, there are. They are, and they're the first flower we have to bloom, and the last flower to hibernate here in my part of Alaska is a dandelion. They're the first one to come out to help all the pollinators out, and then the last one out the window when the snow's falling. They're still trying to stick it out with the snow on them and everything, and they're still like they're tough. So I appreciate a dandelion. Oh, awesome, bro. Yeah, I saw it. My kids were wondering where are they at. I was like, hey, y'all, they just got into town. They got all kind of stuff they got to do. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. You'll get new problem. Yes, always. I thought that was Arkansas. What are you talking about? I'm like, Arkansas. Who's in Arkansas? Oh, wait, man. I sure appreciate it. I mean, if you can, dude, I'll pay for shipping. I don't care. If you got some wild caught catfish, I would appreciate it. Like I love salmon. If like I say, y'all seen the salmon videos, they're actually really good now. Like we got them figured out. I feel like they're really good, but still, there's nothing like if you had a flathead catfish fillet and one of our sockeye salmon fillet, I'm gonna go flathead or whatever hand I had it. Flathead catfish all day, or crappie all day, full brim, bluegill all day. So I love salmon's good though, 100%. I ain't gonna complain. Mr. Johnny's trying to get him some. Man, I thought you had catfish in a pond or something right there. I ain't got none. Come on now. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go down to the bottom and work my way down. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mr. Johnny, you got catfish right there. Hey, yeah, Mr. Johnny's a busy guy though. Well, I appreciate it, Mom. Yeah, you can't eat them. Like Crispies, Dark 30 here in South Carolina. South Carolina. First, I want to say, I hope everyone has a hey, you too, Mr. Chris. Have a good one. I appreciate you saying so. I do. Like I say, I really do try. Um, yeah, we all have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. He is. Definitely is. There's a lot of good gardening channels out there, y'all. A lot. First, I said the other day in someone's chat, we need a large Zoom call, and actually, you can do it on StreamYard. You just have everyone in your chat. You can have up to 6 or 10 on the free one. Oh, well, darn, that's cool. Man, that's awesome. Okay, 6 on the free one. Okay, that's awesome. Shoot, yeah, that's cool. Okay, I will, Uncle Tony. Do you have your email on your channel somewhere or something? I don't know if I have it or not, but I will. Oh, here I'm on the bottom now. So just we have these small purple flower weeds that just clog the gutter. Are these useless? It seems to take over. Oh yeah, I know what those are. Small purple flowered weeds. Yeah, yeah, and they spread out. So I call that the kudzu of Alaska. Okay, I don't know. I'm sure it's probably in the 48 somewhere, but that's called bird's vetch. like literally called Birds Vetch, like VETCH. If you look it up, and to my knowledge, it's not good for nothing. I don't. It might be good for something, and I didn't see it. I think it's actually slightly toxic to humans, like just a little bit. Um, yeah, and like I say, you see them on the roads. So that junk is all in my yards. It's a steady fight. Now that's one weed that's annoying because it likes to whatever, reproduce a lot. And if you don't stay under it, like I got a weedy and get down or something. If you can knock it out and then move it, like where it's purple flowers, chop them all down and move them. It seems to help. Like they won't come back near as hard next year. But if you let them flower and the flowers have seeds and they fall, it's a nightmare the next year. But yeah, it's just called Bird's Vetch. It's like kudzu down south. People that know what kudzu is, it's a vine that just takes over everything. This is like a tinier version of that, but it's the same principle. It still will cover like a blanket. What I use it though is for my animals. The rabbits love it, and the chickens will mess around with it. Chickens will peck all the leaves off of it, but the rabbits will eat the stems and everything. So I like it for that because even in the wintertime, it'll still stay green for a while before it turns brown. Even with the snow for like a couple months of snow, it'll start browning off and dying. But even then, I'll feed it to the rabbits. So I let some of it actually grow on the other side of the yard on my chain link fence. I'll let it grow on that, and then that's kind of like a before I have to dig into my hay that we put up. I'll pull all that off, and then I'll be feeding them that, and then I'll eat all that mess off, and then whenever I get done with that, then I'll start feeding them hay that I cut with a weed eater and all. I did that video on. But to my knowledge, I use it for animal feed, but that's all I use it for because I did do some research on it, but it's been probably a year or so when I've looked at that, so I don't know. I want to say it was slightly toxic or something to humans. I think unless you cook it, Um, so I'm assuming you probably can't eat it, but there's not a lot to it. So I just, yeah, I just do it with my rabbits. So mainly rabbits. Okay, Uncle Tony back. Okay, yeah, I will for sure. All right, I'm gonna get back to the bottom of the chat, y'all. Coffee says, "Nice to see you back on here. Hope to see more videos, y'all." Yeah, y'all have a good night. Yeah, I'm gonna get off, y'all. 'Cause I know my wife's probably wondering where I'm at. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching as always. Y'all have a great week, rest of your weekend, good night's sleep, great day tomorrow, and have a great week coming up. I hope all y'all praying for y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Everybody take care. God bless. The end. It's over. Thank y'all for coming.